Okay guys, Dwayne Tumlet back again. I wanted to show you our, go through all the little gardens that we have here in Richmond, Virginia. Again, these were all inspired by Arms Family Homestead. We also watch Keeping It Dutch, not forgetting you, Dutch, and Gardening with Leon. And here we planted loose leaf lettuce, kale, and again, we live in a rural area. We have just a little over an acre property. And because we saw them doing it, we wanted to do it. And this is just around a stump that was in our backyard. My wife said, let's just plant stuff around the stump. And as you can see, everything looks good. The beets are a little bit slow coming out, but they're coming gradually. In the middle, we have peas. These peas were from M.I. Gardner, and they're sugar peas. And as you can see, our neighbors behind us. So we have again, we're in the suburbs, and we are close to other neighbors, so it can be done. Of course, she wants chickens next because of Daniel and Dutch, but she wants chickens. Over here, she has her little orchard. We have peach trees, and there are I think that's something like a walking tree, a creeping walker tree. I'm not exactly sure right there. And there's a little peach tree right here. There is an apple tree that she planted over here. Apple tree down there. And because this wasn't enough space, we created another one beside her greenhouse. And this one has peas all around it, cucumbers in the second row. Again, this is around a stump in the backyard. There's eggplants planted in front of it, and then tomato plants in front of that, pepper plants, peppers. I don't know what it is about this area around the stumps, but they do very well. It's like it holds moisture around, maybe from the decaying wood and stuff, but it holds moisture, and they love it here. Okay, let me show you what else we got going on. Here we have our grapevines. Unfortunately, it looks like we might have lost one here and one in the back from this path. We may have cut it too short and it died, but everything else is looking pretty good. Let me show you the other garden over here. This one, she has green beans, pole beans, I believe they are. Here she has some squash, tomato plants, and guys, we use the PVC to tie our tomato plants up. It's really cheap. It's only $2 for 10 foot of it at Lowe's, and then we get them to cut it into 5-foot pieces. We are able to use it every year instead of the wooden stakes, because the wooden stakes rot in the ground and we always have to buy them, and as you know, they're like $1 a piece. So these we use over and over, and it saves us money. Down here she has more squash plants, and we have some zucchinis planted over there. Let me show you what else we have. Right here, these are squash plants, and yes, we're gonna have a lot of squash. But what my wife likes to do with them is she will bag them up as they all come in and give them to neighbors. She likes to share what we have coming in with the neighbors. And these are cucumbers. We use these like it's not chicken wire, I can't remember what it is, but it's similar to the chicken wire from Lowe's, and we make an archway over top of the cucumbers, And as the cucumbers grow, they grow over the wire, and then the cucumbers will either be on top of the wire or be hanging below it. It's very easy to pick them. Same thing with over here. We have cucumbers growing, and the cucumbers actually grow up the this is cattle fencing. Again, much cheaper than buying the thinner stuff every single year. This is thick. During the winter we put it behind our garage and bring it out again when it's time to when it's time to plant again. Saves a lot of money. Okay guys, we do have lots of flowers here. My wife loves her flowers. We take care of. She has the roses and the primrose, and we have hostas. All kinds of things growing in here. She has one of the biggest hostas I have ever seen in my life growing over here. Let me show you guys. I call this Hostas giganticus because I have never seen a hosta quite as big as my whole back porch. But there she is, right there. And guys, I don't know if you know it or not, but I do like to have a pond, and I do have a small pond here. I do have tubs outside. I like to do summer tubbing with Rachel O'Leary. Check her out if you haven't already, Rachel O'Leary on YouTube. I don't have any fish in it at this moment. I do have lily pads, and I have some irises growing. Everything looks pretty good in there so far. I'll probably be putting some swordtails or something out here in the pond shortly. There are lots and lots of larvae and stuff inside of there that they can feed on. So this will be good. I'll put them out there probably in the next week or so. Here's another one of our flower gardens, but this year my wife put in several like tomato plants and Brussels sprouts. I think that she planted some Brussels sprouts in between, so it's going to be interesting. We'll see what that comes out like. And if you didn't think we already had enough gardens on that side, no, you're wrong. We have another on this side of the yard, on this side, so our neighbors get to see gardens all over the yard. These are potatoes. The potatoes look like they're doing really well this year. When we had a storm day before yesterday, the storm did knock some of them over, but that won't hurt anything. They'll be just fine. I did try to set some of them up, but they're so brittle right now, they'll snap very easily. So we'll leave them alone right now. They're doing very well. They're getting ready to bloom, and that'll have their potatoes start to set. Right here we have more peas. I think these are a different type of pea. They're not the sugar peas on here, but I can't remember if they're monster peas or what type they were. Right here we have some beets growing, and as you know, the beets, for some reason beets are very slow, and we're trying them every year, but they never want to bulb up. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on. If you guys know what's wrong or what we're doing wrong, we do add 10-10-10 to our gardens. And sometimes we do put some water on it with Miracle Grow, but they never bulb up. Same with look at my radishes. Look how beautiful the radishes get. They're huge. They get very green tops, but no bulbs. And we've put bulb fertilizer on them and everything. They just will not bulb up. Now you might get one here and there that will bulb up, but they just don't bulb. Not sure what we're doing wrong, but every year we put things into the garden, fertilizers, and they all do very well, but just don't bulb. Right here we have kale. We've eaten on the kale several times. As you can see right here, we picked quite a bit yesterday and ate some. And right here we have turnips. And we put some turnip greens in our salad as well when we ate yesterday. Now the turnips, again, beautiful tops, lots of green. which I think is nitrogen, that causes the tops, but no bulbing. You don't get any bulbing from the turnips. Last year we left the turnips in the ground for the fall just to hold into the dirt, and during the winter they did bulb up some. So again, I'm not sure what we're doing wrong. Over here we have another one of our flower beds. Bird baths everywhere on our flower beds. That one's looking pretty good. And another one right over there near our neighbor's yard. Right there. And we're still mulching. As you can see, we got this is our third truckload of mulch that we're putting around everything in the house. And guys, you're gonna think this is fun here. Normally we plant flowers on the side of the house, but we've really been getting into watching Arms Family and Keeping It Dutch and Gardening with Leon. And as you can see, we've planted tomatoes on the side of the house. We have tomatoes, and of course our roses and stuff are in there. We have a beautiful clematis and tomatoes, and I don't know if you know it or not, but there's a okra. Okra, we don't even like okra, but they have beautiful yellow flowers on the okra, so that'll be pretty between them. Right here, okra again, another tomato, and tomato, and rhododendron right at the end of the house. And that's about it, guys. The front of our house, she has some more flowers. My wife loves her flowers. We have to go to the greenhouse and get flowers constantly down the road. She loves her flowers. Over here she has another bird bath with the hostas growing, and the birds just absolutely love all the bird baths around here, and it's nice to be able to watch them. We're gonna put some bricks around the well. Lately we've been getting some ground seepage, I believe, into the well, so the water got slightly discolored. So we're gonna have to pull a lot of that dirt away and put some bricks up against the well there or something. But as you see, guys, Keeping It Dutch, Arms Family, Homestead, watching these shows has really got us inspired to do more into our yard, and I guess my wife a little more than I, but I love being out here helping her with it, and I'm working on this one for her right now, trying to get all the weeds out of it so we can put some mulch down with those. And these are the knockout roses. They just, guys, if you've never had knockout roses, you need to get you some. They're easy to take care of, and they have lots and lots of roses all over them, and they bloom all year long. Alright, guys, that's about it here in my yard. I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.